he felt like a Superman that wasn't worthy of my kid or someone else's kid feeling like he could fly. Welcome back to the channel. We're Fandom Fix. I'm Austin, and that's Roman. And today we are talking about Superman. James Gunn's adaptation of this beloved character is finally out after much anticipation. And guys, it is doing extremely well in the box office. That first weekend had tons of people at the movie theater. When we went, seats were full, people were cheering, all that kind of stuff. A lot of positive buzz on the internet. But was this movie actually good? And honestly, I am sad to say that we did not like it. And so today we want to give our reasons of why, because we love Superman. We have loved Superman as long as we could remember as a child. And so we want to give our thoughts of why we thought that this movie did not live up to the character. So, Roman, I'm going to start off by kicking it off to you. What did you think overall of this movie?
Austin, of the three of us, I was the one to see it first, and I had to keep my mouth shut because you had told me when you talked to me that you wanted to ask me about it, but then you weren't going to because and I stayed quiet on the subject because I went by myself. I wanted to love this movie, and I did not enjoy it. And I fully respect that there are people that did, and there are people that believe that this was maybe the second best portrayal of Superman in their mind behind mostly what I've seen, Christopher Reeve. But to me, for my taste, this is not what we saw on screen is not what I want to see from a Superman film. I thought that the casting was phenomenal. I thought the high points of this movie specifically were Jimmy, Lois, and Mr. Terrific, played by Edie Gathegi. I thought he was a bright spot, and they're already talking about a spinoff with him, so we'll see what that is. Everything else I thought missed the mark, in my opinion. I thought Superman was a side character. I felt there were a lot of characters crammed in this movie, and they all seem to be saving Superman, which is kind of opposite what you're looking at. And I want to get to my biggest disappointment right off the bat. I'm on record on this channel with you saying that I believed the door was wide open for Nicholas Hoult to be the greatest live action film Lex Luthor we've ever seen. And boy, was I disappointed.
Yeah.
And I love Nicholas Hoult as an actor. That's why I was so excited for this. I thought it could be really good. And it just did not, to me, a villain like Thanos, like some other villains that we've seen, like Lex Luthor or like Michael Rosenbaum's version of Lex Luthor in Smallville. They should be composed, under control, kind of like a little bit smug, but emotionally under control. And that's just how I think a villain should be made and portrayed. And Lex Luthor was just whiny and a crybaby, and he just had this hatred for Superman, which ultimately boiled down to the plot boiled down to he wanted to help that dictator invade the other country because he wanted to have the country for himself so he could be king. So his motivation boiled down to, I'm jealous because they love you, they worship you. I want them to worship me.
Yeah.
Not to make it biblical, but that's a lot of what happened with Lucifer before he was kicked out of heaven, just saying. But I just thought the portrayal of Lex Luthor was painful to watch, given what I was expecting, especially considering that James Gunn told Michael Rosenbaum to his face, you are the best live-action Lex Luthor. So granted, he wasn't trying to copy that, but if he views Michael Rosenbaum as the standard, why did he deliver so far below the standard? That's just my opinion. But what are your thoughts on that?
Listen, Lex is someone who would be 12 steps ahead. And they kind of made him out to be this character who had already studied Superman, had everything planned out. Clearly, that's what this entire story was based on. He had already figured out Superman and figured out how to beat him, or what he thought could beat him. And that's why I don't understand at the end. He cried. What villain cries at the end when he's getting arrested, when he already is thinking ahead of what would have happened if he knew he was going to get arrested? Like, he couldn't have completely thought his plan was foolproof. He had to have a plan, thinking, if I get arrested or if this doesn't go well, I have to have a plan to get out. Why would you be crying? Like, it just makes him soft. It makes him feel like he's not threatening. And it just makes him feel like he was a crybaby who was just mad because somebody else got attention than he did. And that's
That's
exactly
exactly
what that
what
was
that
predicated
whole
on.
yeah, that's
It
exactly what
was
that
like
whole
a
storyline
kid
based
who
on.
got bullied in school who was mad because the other kid was more popular than him or something like that. That's exactly what it was like. And that's what frustrated the heck out of me, honestly, about both the portrayals of both Lex and Clark. Did I think David Cornsweet played the part well based on what he was given? Yeah. I think he could be a great Superman. I think he could be a great Clark if it was written the way it should be. But in my opinion, they made Superman look weak. And I know a lot of people out there love this version of Superman because they're saying, well, he's so hopeful and he's kind and he cares about people. And they did a good job of showing how he cares about the normal people of Metropolis. But the thing was, I spent 90 minutes of that movie watching
And the
him get his
squirrel.
butt kicked. He got his butt kicked for 90 minutes. It took almost to the end of the movie for me to see him actually throw a punch that actually landed and do something cool. Like, why? I don't want to spend the entire movie where Superman's a side character and me feel like that Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane are the ones that can save the day. Like, they're important characters and they play an important role in the story. But at the end of the day, Superman's set on the sidelines. And, other than the kryptonite scene, I get it. Kryptonite obviously always hurts Clark. He's always going to be hurt by that. So Superman's going to have to find a way to get out of that. And listen, Smallville spent tons of time in their seasons when that show was on air where Clark was getting beat up by kryptonite. He was laying there. I get it. It's a plot point.
But that's
But
an
the
11
entire rest of
season
the
show.
movie, he should not be getting his butt kicked where it doesn't feel like he's actually fighting back. This felt like a weak Superman. Ty's not on this video, but when we saw it together, he was like, this feels like a beta Superman. And listen, I know that's a political term and all these different things with, people out there, but like he felt like a Superman that wasn't worthy of my kid or someone else's kid feeling like he could fly. When Christopher Reeve came out, people thought they could fly. This Superman didn't give me hope in the way that so many people out there are saying. And if you thought that the Superman gave you hope, I am so glad. I'm so glad this movie worked for you. But at the end of the day, this was not the Superman that I grew up with. This was not the Superman
Exactly.
from the Superman animated series that we fell in love with as kids.
I even mentioned that. I said I felt like James Gunn was trying poorly to make a live action version of an animated series episode because some of that can be a little cheesy, but it is a cartoon, so you let it
Yeah.
slide. But then he added adult language and flipping the bird, so it didn't work at all. I thought the humor he tried to add in was too much and in the wrong places. I thought, like you said, that Superman was weak and a side character, and I'll give him credit where it's due. He made a comic accurate Superman, but I felt at times like he took the weirdest like cells of the weirdest storylines and put them on screen.
Listen, he made a comic book accurate Superman in terms of how he built the world, and because there were a lot of really cool references to larger DC stuff, like there, like the White Martian and the jail cell, Metamorpho, all those different things. Like it was really cool, and it reminded us of the cartoon. But I don't. I think the world was comic book accurate. I don't think Superman himself
I don't think so. Yeah,
was
you're
super
correct.
comic book accurate, and that's what bugged me. And I'm not even being a Snyder fan that's like trying to compare the two different things. Like Henry Cavill did a great job as Clark, but at the end of the day, he's not my favorite Superman. And so this isn't a comparison of what came before versus what came now. It's more of just like, did they really deliver in terms of the character that like has been an icon for so long?
Right.
I mean, there were two people that walked up to us after the movie, random people that we didn't know, saying, "Hey, what did you think of that movie?" And we gave them our honest opinion. They're like, "Dog, like that movie wasn't great. Like that wasn't the Superman that we wanted." And we saw that from so many people that were in that movie when we went and saw it. So
Right.
it's just hard. This movie is definitely going to have a lot of division in terms of opinions.
There were some fun moments in this movie, but overall, and I'm not somebody who criticizes movies heavily. Like I go to enjoy movies. That's the goal. If I enjoy it, I'll be like, all right, it was enjoyable, fine.
Yeah.
I honestly did not enjoy this.
Listen, I love some of the goofy moments. Clark, not cursing and saying like "golly gee" and those type of things was like fun, but he wasn't the stoic, Superman that I'm used to. And the thing is that I don't want to see his dog save the day. I feel like Crypto spent
Crypto was a
majority of the
distraction.
movie saving the day more than Clark did. He used Crypto as his way of getting out of things more than himself. Like there was no way that Superman can't do it on his own. And
Yeah.
Crypto was cute. I think he had a part to play, but they used him way too much, and that was difficult and for me to see. And even at the end of the movie, this is a spoiler, but when Kara showed up, his cousin Supergirl, she shows up and she's just
Drunk.
drunk and she's a party animal, and Clark doesn't lecture her at all. Like, since when does Clark not lecture his cousin for doing the wrong thing? Like, her doing that and being reckless with her powers, like, that's that could turn into something. So, like,
And
I just didn't love the betrayal between the way these characters acted.
and she calls him a name we won't say on the channel, but it does not give me a lot of confidence in the Supergirl movie. And honestly, the portrayal of Guy Gardner by Nathan Fillion, and I love Nathan Fillion, plus what he said about the Lantern show coming up, does not give me a lot of faith in that either.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot of division out there. This is just our opinion. And sadly, we did not like the movie, but I know a lot of you out there did love the movie. So let us know in the comments, what did you think of this movie? What were your favorite parts? If you did not like it, why did you not like it? Let us know, please. We would love to know. We love healthy discourse. So please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video from us. But until next time, we are Fandom Fix.